Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the virtual Talladega Super Speedway. Here as we get ready to go green for Race 4 of the DegaPros Little Guys Series here on the Hickory Racing Network. My name is Dawson Wise. You are joining me here just as we get onto the grid a little bit later than usual tonight. But hey, we are here, we are ready to race, and I am glad you're deciding to spend your late Monday night with me here tonight as we get ready to put 3 more guys into our championship race at the end of this season for the Little Guys Series. I'm glad you're joining me here tonight. We're going to get these guys on the grid. We're going to get you your starting grid here in just a moment. We'll get right into it, and we will get underway here from Talladega Super Speedway. I'm rolling solo tonight. My broadcast partner, Michael Triscaro, off on business, I believe, this week. He will not be joining me this week. He'll be back in the booth next week to have some more driver spotlights for you, some more great insight. We'll be missing him tonight, but hopefully he is going to tune in, get to see who's going to be the next 3 guys on board here for this Little Guys Series Championship race. What a season it has been so far, and we expect a great race tonight as well. We'll get right into your starting grid. We'll talk about the format. We'll talk about who's in, who's not in, and everything in between here tonight as we get going here from Talladega Super Speedway. Josh McCullough in the 05. He advanced by way of the race last week, but he'll be on the pole here for tonight in that 05 of McCullough Motorsports. Is outside the KSR machine of Trevor Osborne, also advancing into that final race at the end of the season. Team PGR's Nash Brambill, I believe he is solo tonight. Nope, he does have one teammate in the field. He will roll from 3rd. Richard Elliott will roll from the 4th position tonight in the 02 for Hyper Motorsports. Devin Ray, another McCullough entry. He is also in our final race. He'll roll from 5th with Harrison Whitehead, our winner from last week in the 77, making his presence felt as well. He will roll from 6th. Mark Vondell will roll from 7th with Ron Morris Jr. in 8th. Austin Green will roll from 9th in the 87, and Thomas Parker of KSR will round out the top 10. Zach Range will roll from 11th tonight with Danny Eshelman in the 12th position. Dustin Carruthers rolls from 13th. Alejandro Montes de Yaca making his debut tonight in 14th. Bobby Forbes rolls from 15th with Justin Mills in 16th. Ryan Baste will roll from 17th. Tim White in the 18th position. Michael Menchaca will roll from 19th with Daniel DiOrio of KSR in the 20th position. David Cheats rolls from 21st to hits outside Heat Job. Row 12, Logan York and Cole Fitzpatrick. Row 13 will be Todd Mays in the 54 and John Darnell, the other Team PGR driver, in the field tonight. And our final row of the field tonight, shotgun will be Joey Allen in the 23 and Danny Barnes in the 7 for Hyper Motorsports. We are ready once again to get under the green flag, get it going here from Talladega Super Speedway. We'll get into who is in here in just a moment. I'll try to get you that information before we go green. Week 1, David Sheets won the race with Ron Morris and Michael Menchaca both advancing into the championship race. Dustin Carruthers won week number 2. And Trevor Osborne, his teammate, Devin Ray joining them in the championship race. And our last 3 to advance last week, Harrison Whitehead, Josh McCullough, and Zach Range. So those 9 drivers are in. Now you may be asking, how do you advance? Well, last season, it was a combination of points and a top 3 finish in one of the races. This season, no points. It is the top 3 drivers in the race who are not already advanced into the championship race. So say there's a repeat in the top 3, that driver will not advance into the final race because they're already locked into that final race. So it'll be the top 3 guys not already locked in, and we will have that information for you when we get under the checkered flag late in the going of this one. Glad you're joining me here. Chime in the chat if you're out there, wherever you're watching from here tonight. We've all converged on Lincoln, Alabama for this 4th DegaPros Little Guys Series event, and we are ready to get it going here from the 2.66 mile oval. I am so glad you've decided to spend your Monday evening with me as we get ready for what should be an incredible event here from Talladega. Into the tri-oval they come for the first time. Josh McCullough in the 05 is going to get us started as we get ready to put him under the green flag for the first time. Green flag, we are racing from Talladega. An early jump to the lead for Josh McCullough in the 05. Osborne waiting on his help. Richard Elliott and Harrison Whitehead to get to him. We round turn 2 onto the Alabama Gang super stretch for the first time tonight. McCullough and Osborne elbow to elbow here on the back straightaway. Osborne gets a bit of an advantage here in the 89. What a strong season it's been for these two up front. Richard Elliott looking to spoil the party tonight. and make his way into that final race. Osbornoff immediately to the bottom says, I don't want to waste any time getting down in front of these trucks here on the bottom of the racetrack. Off of turn number 4 for the first time, Osbornoff the commanding. About 1 car length lead on the outside line. Elliott Whitehead, Parker now. Austin Green has found his way to the top, as well as Zach Range and Danny Eschleman. Lap 2 on the board for the first time. Here comes Trevor Osbornoff, Josh McCullough, but Richard Elliott charging back on the outside with the help of the 77 of Harrison Whitehead. What a moment for Harrison Whitehead in the 77, as last week he made his way into that championship race and put his name on the map, getting to victory lane in race number 3. He's looking to go back-to-back, make it happen here once again on a Monday night. He's running very well so far. Big mover so far. Thomas Parker up 4 spots for KSR. And right on cue, Kenny Stamper, the boss man over at KSR, is in the chat chiming in, rooting on his drivers. He's got drivers well inside the top 10 here, one of which already in, actually a few of which have already made their way into that final championship race that will be in 2 weeks. Osbornoff back up to the top in front of Richard Elliott, continuing to lead down into turn number 1. Josh McCullough, Nash Brambilla flanking him to his left side. Devin Ray trying to make his way forward as well. McCullough, a nice surge there from Nash Brambilla. Third line, moving out of line. There goes Austin Green in the 87. He's got Danny Eschleman behind him. Thomas Parker joins the party. Trouble. Around goes Josh McCullough in the 05. He gets it righted, but not for long. He's going to bounce off the inside retaining wall and slide back up onto the racing surface. This will not draw a caution. We are going to stay green for now. And unfortunately for Josh McCullough, it's going to give him an early disadvantage, but nonetheless, we're going to stay green. Oh, my goodness, almost trouble here on the front stretch between Osbornoff and Elliott. Now that line gets out of line. Here comes Thomas Parker for KSR, the race lead. So a bit of a disconnect here in the field as they try to get it back going. Harrison Whitehead's off the racetrack. Can he get it back going? I don't think he can. Yes, he keeps it down off the racetrack, but now he's off the pace as well. Good grief, shaking bacon, Dyson early on in this one. Austin Green, the Green Ghost, out front now at Talladega. A couple more of those McCullough Motorsports trucks pull to the outside. Looks like Dustin Carruthers as well may make his presence felt here near the front of the field. It's Green and Parker on the front row, then Eschleman and Osbornoff on row number 2, then Devin Ray, Travis Elliott on row number 4. How about Alejandro Montes de Aca? He's up 7 spots. He's in the fray here early in the going. Logan York as well. He's up 10 spots all of a sudden in the 0-1. He wants a piece of this action. Based and Carruthers, the KSR teammates, up on the outside. KSR flexing muscle early in this one from Talladega as they try to get more of their trucks into that final 4 race. Final 4 race. Final could be, it is going to be 15 drivers at the end of this season. Austin Green, though, running with McCullough Motorsports tonight, I believe, is looking to make his presence felt in that race as well. Green out to the outside, goes up to block the 3rd lane in front of Carruthers. That's going to stop their momentum for the moment. Thomas Parker able to surge back to the bottom. Let's see if they move to the top. They're going to hang tough right there against the yellow line. Now Carruthers jumps up to, Osbornoff, trouble. Around goes Devin Ray. Carruthers is into the wall as well as Austin Green. Trouble, more trucks going around. This might draw the caution. Tim White's around, and we are under the yellow flag as they are going to slide here and keep it going. Tim White, Devin Ray, Austin Green, and others. And our first caution flag of the night, 6 laps into this one. This was actually multiple incidents. The first truck I saw get around was Devin Ray in the 22, so we'll see what happened here to the driver of the 22. I think maybe he tries to go and follow this 3rd lane. I think he may try to jump up in front of Austin. I know they've typically been running together here, the 22. Oh, maybe just also a reaction possibly out of the 22. Yep, possibly some netcode, but looks like just some contact. Guys going for the same piece of real estate. Green hooks the 22 into the outside retaining wall. Then Carruthers trying to miss it. Bounces off of Ron Morris. Then he gets a piece of Devin Ray and bounces into the outside wall. Now behind them, there's contact there on the right side of your screen between Tim White and Michael Menchaca. They're going to collect David Sheets. They are going to get a piece of Devin Ray. So Devin Ray, the punching bag for the field on this caution, as he got hit 4 times by my count Tim White is going to slide sideways. He bounces off the outside wall. David Sheets has considerable front end damage as well. And Austin Green, I think, got away pretty lucky, all things considered, there in that one. So we'll go back and take one more look at this one. Try to get an idea of what happened here between the 87 and the 22. This was a very odd-looking incident. Try to find a decent angle here. Actually, well, I thought that one's going to be a little bit better than it was. It's still really not. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't really give us a great idea. Let's see here. Here we go. As I cycle through all the cameras at my disposal here early on in this one, just trying to figure out. No, it is netcode. It actually is some right rear netcode. There's a pretty good angle right there. As Devin Ray goes up into the outside wall, you see Carruthers get a piece of the Ron Morris machine. They go into the outside wall. And it is on from there behind them as guys try to scramble and miss the incident. And this tends to happen. You scramble across the racetrack, typically you might just get into somebody you don't mean to hit. Devin Ray, man, couple of big, considerable hits in this wreck. As he gets in, ends up sideways early in the going here at Talladega. Puts us under our first caution of the night. And it all happened behind the driver of the 89, Trevor Osbernath, who continues to lead the field here on lap number 7 as we are under our first caution flag of the evening. A little bit smaller field tonight. About 28 trucks made the trip. We had 35 in the field last week. I know we had some guys out tonight on business, out tonight for other reasons, and obviously got to respect that just a little bit. We are glad to still see a considerable field. 28 drivers, still very impressive. Going for 3 spots in that final race. At the end of the season here in about 2 weeks' time, they have 2 chances to lock in. Tonight, we'll lock in 3 more, and next week we'll lock in drivers 13, 14, and 15 into our championship race that is going to occur in about 2 weeks' time. And hopefully next week we'll be able to shed some light on when exactly that championship race is going to take place. I'll have that information for you next Monday night. So tune back in next Monday night. We'll get you all the information you need to know about that championship race coming up in 2 weeks. Until then, we're going to put 3 more drivers into that final 15. And looking at it as it runs right now, Thomas Parker, Danny Eschleman, and Richard Elliott, I believe, will be those 3 drivers. Beyond them, Nash Brambilla running 7th. He has a shot to lock in. Ryan Baste, Mark Vondell, Alejandro Montes de Oca, Daniel Diorio, Justin Mills, several guys in the field tonight that have a chance to make their way into that final 15 when we get to the end of the season. What a season it has been. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this series has provided some of the best racing that I have seen in a very long time, at least in this kind of format. Even last season was great racing. This season, though, has been all over the place. We've seen great finishes every single week. All 3 have come down to a drag race on the front straightaway. And all 3 resulted in several new guys being in that final 15 that maybe haven't made an appearance. So when we talked about Harrison Whitehead, what a statement it was for him last week to make his way into the final 15. Michael Menchaca as well. I think I called him the underdog of all underdogs a few weeks back when he made his way into the final 15 in the first week of the season. In probably our most chaotic finish of the season to this point, where they decided to crash right at the tail end of the race in the tri-oval. And that race saw David Sheets come away with a huge victory in the 0-6. We'll see what happens tonight. We'll update you a little bit on who's running with what team before we go green. The Wolfpack is back for another effort tonight. They have Joey Allen, Harrison Whitehead, Michael Menchaca. Logan York has a team together tonight. It's himself, Zach Range, Cole Fitzpatrick. They are all 3 in the race here tonight. Hyper Motorsports is the usual. Danny Barnes, Bobby Forbes, Heath Joe, Justin Mills, Richard Elliott, and Alejandro Montes de Oca. And we'll get to the other bigger teams a little bit later. You typically know the KSR McCullough Motorsports boys are back. We talked about Team PGR as well. We'll focus on those other teams a little bit later when we get another chance. But for now, we're about to put him back into the green flag here with 20 laps to go. Trevor Osbornoth into the restart zone. He gets a nice jump. Green flag is back in the air. 19 laps to go from Talladega Super Speedway. I'll be surprised to see Osbornoth go down and pick up his teammate Thomas Parker, and that's exactly what he's going to do. The KSR teammates showing chemistry here early on at Talladega. 19 laps to go, and they are very much in sync. Flow state at the front of the field for the 51, the 89. As Richard Elliott's going to take advantage. Just don't mind if I do. I'm going to jump on past here. He's got some help from Ron Morris Jr. Ryan Baste, Alejandro Montes de Oca, Justin Mills in tow. Zach Range, by the way, locked into the final 15 with the third place finish a couple weeks back. He runs fourth on the bottom in front of Nash Brambilla, looking to get one of those spots in the final race. As we watch guys try to maneuver all over this racetrack, try to make their moves, try to get in a good position for the tail end of this race. When we get down to trouble, Elliott gets turned right in front of the field. Osbornoth gets turned. Baste gets turned. Zach Range gets turned. Osbornoth gets hit a ton. Baste gets hit a ton. And we are piling them up here at Talladega. Bobby Forbes involved. Josh McCullough looks to be involved. Logan York is involved. Obviously, we saw Ryan Baste. We saw Elliott. Thomas Parker and Trevor Osbornoth, after all of that, end up in the infield, sliding sideways. And that was the start of this yellow flag period. So we'll go back and try to get an idea of exactly what happened to bring out this yellow flag with 18 laps to go. Here from Talladega, Osbornoth was leading the race. I mean, it looked like they were in a pretty good spot. And then there you see already, there's some offset between the Richard Elliott machine and the Ron Morris machine as Elliott comes back down to correct. He gets turned. Osbornoth, Parker, nowhere to go. Danny Echelman bails to the apron. I think he's going to squeak through this. Ron Morris gets involved. Ryan Baste is involved. There's the Montes de Oca machine. Zach Range goes sliding sideways. Justin Mills trying to miss it. Diorio, he gets involved off Cole Fitzpatrick. I think they're going to just bounce off each other and keep going. Richard Elliott gets hit again. Michael Menchaca tried to get on the brakes. Nothing doing there. And Osbornoth is going to get hit another time, I believe, in this wreck. Actually, may have already happened. Ryan Baste hard into the inside wall there on the tail end of that one. Left side of your screen. This one took out a large amount of trucks. Try to take a look at what happened to Ryan Baste. You see the wreck start. There's going to be nowhere for him to go here. You're going to see him get turned. I think he's going to come across the bumper of Zach Range. Yep, there it is right there between himself and the 043. And then these guys, look at all these guys scramble to the apron. There goes Bobby Forbes. He's trying to make his way down out of this incident. Unfortunately, he just can't quite do it. Here's Baste. He tries right here to get it righted. Can't, and is going to bounce off the inside wall. There's Mark Vondell squeaking his way through it. There's Forbes as he slides sideways, unable to avoid this one. And it puts us under the caution here once again with 17 laps to go. We got some guys on pit road. And it's all occurring behind the 26 of Danny Echelman, who comes away with the lead out of all of that exchange with 17 laps to go, approaching halfway home in race number 4 of the Little Guys Series. Echelman, Montes de Oca, Mills, Brambilla, Vondell, your top 5. If it were to finish like it is right now, I believe it would be Echelman, Montes de Oca, and Mills in that final race. We'll see. Obviously, a long ways to go still. But we'll see what they can get done. We got some guys further back that are going to be coming to the front. Harrison Whitehead, John Darnell, Austin Green, Logan York. You know, we had not heard the last of those guys. Devin Ray, Ryan Baste, Zach Range. These guys further back. Not done yet. We are not done hearing from those drivers in this event. It's a matter of time before they find their way back forward here on what could end up being our last run. We'll look at the chat really quickly, and then we'll go through our last couple teams I haven't spotlighted quite yet. Xana Thompson rooting for John Darnell and Team PGR. John on quite the momentum streak right now. It's been so incredible to watch this tear that he's been on the last couple weeks across promotions, across series. It's been really cool to see him run well. He continues to do so tonight inside the top 10, well within striking distance for this one. As well as his teammate Nash Brambilla, who will restart from the 4th position. And then we got Kenny McCullough, the boss man over at McCullough Motorsports. He's got several trucks in the field tonight as well. Rooting on his boys to make a couple more spots in the final 15. I can tell you they've already got several trucks. We'll go ahead and spotlight them while I'm at it. They already have several trucks in that final race. David Sheets, Ron Morris, Devin Ray, Josh McCullough. 4 McCullough Motorsports trucks are going to make up our final 15, and that's with 6 spots still to be determined. So obviously a lot still to be had. I know Austin Green has been running with them over the past several weeks. Mark Vondell as well. You see Danny Eshelman there with the McCullough Motorsports logos on that truck. We'll look back through the field, find a couple more of those trucks as well that we know are running with those boys here tonight, other than the ones that have already advanced into that final race. So they have a possibility of advancing 2 or 3 more trucks into that race here tonight if they can get it going in the right direction. And the last team we haven't spotlighted yet is the biggest team, I believe, on the racetrack. Maybe not quite, but they do have several trucks tonight, and that is Kenny Stamper Racing, KSR. Thomas Parker, Trevor Osranoth were at the front of the field. They now are going to have some work to do. They have those 2, Ryan Bass, Daniel DiOrio, Dustin Carruthers, and probably a couple others that I'm forgetting here just off the top of my head as we get ready to go back green. I'm sure they will make themselves known here as we get ready to go back green with 15 laps to go. From Talladega, pace truck is down, leaves the field in the hands of Danny Eshelman in the 26. And we are getting ready to put him back under the green flag once again. Into the restart zone they come. Field stacks up behind the 26. Green flag as Brambilla blinks out. He comes back in front of Heath Job, and we're back underway from Talladega. Into turn number 1, the 26 of Eshelman gets a nice push from Justin Mills up top. Montes Diaca, Brambilla, and Job. Vondell down on the bottom side against the yellow line. He now pulls up to be support for that front group on the bottom. Harrison Whitehead, Dustin Carruthers, Logan York, and others wait in the wings here further back. Trying to see who's going to make that first move. Who will try the third line first? I can tell you it's not an overly hot racetrack tonight. About 100 degrees, maybe a little bit less than that actually, with only a 75-degree outside temperature. Eshelman down into the tri-oval here in the 26. Here comes Montes Diaca. Here comes Brambilla. Outside surging big time. 14 laps to go, and Alejandro Montes Diaca takes his first shot in the lead of this draft. Drops to the bottom in front of Danny Eshelman. Third line starting to get cooked. Starting to get cooked up here as, well, it was. Dustin Carruthers, Logan York went up there. Austin Green's going to stay up there, and he's got 2 teammates behind him. Devin Ray and Ron Morris have made their way to the outside. The McCullough boys coming to the front here up against the outside wall. Dustin Carruthers now sees the run and jumps out there. Let's see if any of his teammates go with him as Nash Brambilla goes to the lead for Team PGR in the 18. Trouble! Around goes Logan York in the 0-1. Do they get away from it? I think they do. We all keep it straight. Everybody gets back on the racetrack, tries to get it going in the right direction. It's going to split the field up. And it allows that third line to continue to work. Middle line hung out to dry. Heath Job, Harrison Whitehead. Here comes Dustin Carruthers. He goes to the middle and to the race lead. He'll go all the way top to bottom here in turn 1. That allows the top now to be led by Austin Green. Middle's in the same spot it just was. Not enough trucks to really do anything. Austin Green will go to the lead. Devin Ray will go to second. They may both get clear. At the very least, Austin's going to be clear. Now they both are clear, but only one's going to be able to take it. Green goes all the way to the bottom. Now Ray goes to the middle, and all of a sudden, just like that, McCullough Motorsports running 1 and 2 from Talladega with 13 laps to go. That was executed perfectly by those 2 teammates up against the outside wall. for Austin to get clear, go to the middle, and then go all the way to the bottom. Allow Devin Ray a spot in line in the middle. Ron Morris gets the weak end of that. He goes to the tail end of this draft, but doesn't lose too many spots with how fragmented the field is. So not going to be too much on the rough end of things. Devin Ray, meanwhile, goes to the race lead in the 22. Austin Green and Devin Ray, the teammates controlling both the lines now off turn number 2 onto the Alabama Gang super stretch. Ryan Baste. Excuse me, it's not Ryan Baste. I get their trucks confused a little bit. It's the 77 of Harrison Whitehead, last week's winner. Austin Green goes to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to go right back up, try to go pick up his teammate in the outside line. As the middle line starts to fall apart a little bit, that's going to give the lead over to Hyper Motorsports' Heath Job in the 760. As he leads the field now, you saw him take that wild ride last week where he ended up on top of another truck. For now, he leads the race here with 11 laps to go. Austin Green now gets a nice push from Devin Ray back to the outside of the racetrack. Green, one of the more surprising drivers that hasn't locked himself into that final race. One of the more seasoned super speedway drivers in this field. And obviously a member of the eNASCAR College Series as well. You see that banner plastered across the front of the windshield for Austin Green. He's running the Special College Series paint as well. He's running the Embry-Riddle scheme tonight as he preps for the College Series next event at Dover Motor Speedway. For now, though, he's trying to lock himself into the Little Guys Championship race. He's in a pretty good spot right now, but Heath Job, with the help of Dustin Carruthers, just got up and to the lead here. With 10 laps to go, we are heating this thing up in a hurry. We're going to be single digits to go. Alejandro Montes de Oca trying to get the third line working. Now Whitehead goes with him. Trouble further back. Around goes Danny Barnes. They're into the outside wall. McCullough's around as well. Everybody stays straight. This may remain green here. Josh McCullough, they're all straight and still going. Green flag's going to stay out. So for now, we'll stay green. Probably a good choice. It was near the back of the field. As Logan York blinks out a little bit, third line's going to falter a tad here as Harrison Whitehead tries to go back to the front. Here comes Austin Green. He's got a nice run in the middle lane. That's Green, Ray, and Cole Fitzpatrick has joined the party now in the 19. He gets dropped out of line here as he's going to be all alone waiting on the help of Harrison Whitehead. Ray and Green decide, okay, I don't know if I like the way this looks, or it's going to drop to the bottom, take the safest option. Heath Job goes opposite. Carruthers tried to go too, but ended up door checking the 77 of Harrison Whitehead. Now Ray goes to the outside. He's really got no help. Austin Green may have to go up there as well, try to go get his teammate. For now, he stays parked on the bottom of the racetrack. Devin Ray now has the help of Cole Fitzpatrick coming to him. Trying, though, to get a third truck to go up there. Now Richard Elliott does. So some help to the middle lane. Logan York makes some contact with Ryan Baste further back. We're going to keep it green, but he keeps it going straight. All Austin Green up front in the 87. 8 laps remain here from Talladega Superspeedway. If you're just joining me, race 4, DegaPros Little Guys Series has 8 laps to go from the 2.66-mile Talladega Superspeedway as we try to lock 3 more guys into the final race at the end of the season. The format, the top 3 finishers that are not already locked into our championship race, whether they be in the actual top 3 of the race or not, will advance into that final race at the end of the season to go for the big pot. There are single race payouts on the line tonight. $50 to first, $40 to second, and $20 to third position. But the bigger pot is going to be in that championship race that happens in 2 weeks' time once we have our 15 drivers locked in. We got 2 more chances to do so tonight and next Monday night as well. Things have tamed down a little bit. Austin Green, Devin Ray still working that middle line with Colt Fitzpatrick. Bottom lane, Heath Job, Dustin Carruthers, and Nash Brambilla. And 7 laps to go. We kind of just calmed down a little bit. Now we're trying to tick off laps, get closer to the end of this race, and eventually crown a winner. Here are the next 7 laps from Talladega. Down the backstretch once again goes the field, led by Austin Green, who now hangs a left. Goes down in front of Heath Job, allows Devin Ray to cool off here for a moment. Cole Fitzpatrick now the lead pusher in the middle. Richard Elliott the third in line. Austin just trying to give some reprieve here to the 22. Knows Heath Job has the freshest temperatures in the field besides himself, and drops down in front. Now allows Devin Ray to pull up alongside, and the McCullough Motorsports teammates once again lead the two lines. Richard Elliott, I thought he was going to get split out right there. He doesn't. He ends up getting cut some slack by the 77 of Harrison Whitehead. I think if Whitehead hadn't won that race last week, I don't think he would have been quite as nice, but a little more incentive to do so tonight. Whitehead immediately takes the outside line, now tries to roll with the help of Justin Mills. Ryan Baste. Oh, now Mills jumps back in line. Baste and Osborne, they're going to stay out there for now. Let's see if they can get anything rolling. Heath Job back to the lead, meanwhile, as he was given the bottom back by Austin Green. Off turn number 4, 6 laps to go, make it 5, and we get to the start-finish line. Third line trying to get something cooked up back there. They just really can't get it wound up. Now they start to move forward in the middle line. All of a sudden, it's falling apart. Only 2 trucks, Austin Green and Devin Ray, are out there. They wait on Richard Elliott to get to them. Ron Morris now jumps up. Trouble. Around goes Michael Menchaca. Logan York, Justin Mills, and other trucks are going to get involved in this one. York slides to the bottom. There's the 5 of Bobby Forbes. Looks like the 23 of Joey Allen is involved. Looks like Daniel Diorio of KSR is involved. Danny Eschleman, I don't think is actually involved. Looks like he just slowed up for the wreck. And caution flag once again, as this one started back around Michael Menchaca, as they were 4 wide here briefly in the trial. Well, I'm not sure how I didn't notice this. Menchaca splits out Mills. Whitehead says, I'm going to go a lane higher, and splits Mills in the third lane. They are 4 wide right here. TV follow cam, typically pretty good about seeing these crashes. They're holding it pretty good. Forbes, Menchaca, Mills, Baste 4 wide. And they go off into turn number 1 here. And wow, Menchaca, I'm not sure if he got spooked by the bottom lane or something happened there, but he gets turned off the bumper of Justin Mills. They're going to collect Logan York. Here's Diorio. Alejandro Montes de Oca actually gets a shot in that as well. And then around goes Bobby Forbes. That's further up. Oh, maybe. And he's going to slide up into the outside wall. He gets a pretty good lick on that safer barrier. That's what brings our race to a halt here once again. We'll go on board for our second replay shot with Danny Eschleman. He was right behind us, right there, running there on the bottom of the racetrack. Up here to Danny Eschleman. You see up ahead, they start to wreck. He slows down. There's Menchaca getting turned, goes all the way down into the grass. Now hooks her right back up on the racetrack, and we lose him here on our feed, so not sure what happened there. But regardless, brings out our third caution of the night, and it will send us, I believe, into overtime for the first attempt at a green-white checkered. And it will, as the lights stay on atop the pace truck. We are going to go one more time around. We'll get the 1 to go. And we will be in overtime for our first of 3 green-white checkered attempts from Talladega Super Speedway. Austin Green in a really great spot here. He's going to have his teammate either behind him or somewhere close to him, depending on what line he does choose. Heath Job is going to be second. Then you have Devin Ray, Dustin Carruthers, Nash Brambilla, the top 10, the rest of the top 5, rest of the top 10. Richard Elliott, Cole Fitzpatrick, Ron Morris, Harrison Whitehead, and John Darnell. Still plenty of drivers in this top 10, top 15 that have not had a top 3 finish yet this season, have not had a finish good enough to lock their way into that final race. And so we'll see if any of those drivers can lock their way in. Right now, if we ended the race as they run on the racetrack, just to give you some perspective, Austin Green would lock in with a victory. Heath Job would lock in with second, and then the third driver to lock in actually would be Nash Brambilla in the 18. Because Dustin Carruthers and Devin Ray are already locked into that race by virtue of their top 3 finishes earlier in the season. Still going to be almost 5.5 miles left in this race, so still plenty to happen. But for now, I'm just trying to give you perspective of how exactly this system is going to work. The drivers up front right now that are not locked in and that will be eligible to be in that top 3. Austin Green, Heath Job, Dustin Carruthers, or excuse me, not Dustin Carruthers, Nash Brambilla, Richard Elliott, Cole Fitzpatrick, John Darnell, Ryan Bache, Joey Allen, Danny Eshelman, Thomas Parker. That's the drivers in the top 15 that would be eligible to run in that final race. Excuse me, eligible to make their way in that final race. The top 3 finish among those non-locked-in drivers here tonight. The drivers locked in that are close to the front: Devin Ray, Dustin Carruthers, Ron Morris, Harrison Whitehead. David Sheets runs 14th. The other drivers locked in: Zach Range is 17th. Osbornoth is 19th. Josh McCullough is 26th. Michael Menchaca is 28th. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody in there at some point, but hey, we're doing our best. Did believe I got all 9. So it'll be our first attempt at an overtime finish here. Our first of 3 potential attempts at a green-white checkered. If we get to the white flag, the race is official. If not, we will run another attempt. On the 3rd attempt, the caution comes out on the first lap of the caution, or excuse me, on the first lap of the restart. The race will be official at the moment of caution. We'll be going back to determine who exactly finished where. So Austin Green chooses the outside in front of Dustin Carruthers. Speaking of Dustin Carruthers, John Mullahan in the chat saying he hopes Carruthers has enough fuel. That's been a that's been a funny little interaction that happened today. Like, I got to see some of that. That was really entertaining. John, good to see you poking fun at the driver of the 10. Those guys are just having fun. It was a funny interaction to look at, though. That was a lot of fun earlier. So if Dustin watches this back, or if we get to talk to him, I'll be sure to make sure I ask him if he had enough fuel here in this race, if we get to talk to him here pretty soon. What I would like to do, we'll see if these drivers are up for it, and we'll see how this race finishes, obviously. What I would like to do is talk to our top 3, and if there are repeat drivers, I would like to also talk to the guys that lock into the final race. We'll see if it happens. We'll see what the top 3 brings, and if it's all 3 new guys, well, then it's solved for us. If not, we'll see if we can get a word with a couple other guys than usual tonight. Here we go. The field is in the hands of my fellow broadcaster most nights. Tonight, though, behind the wheel of the truck, Austin Green has the race lead with 2 laps to go. Into the restart zone. Green flag is out. Overtime attempt number 1 from Talladega. Bottom got a good jump. Top may have gotten a better one. Green trying to get to the race lead. Job going to roll with that bottom line in the corner. It always rolls a little bit. Job may get clear of Austin Green. Does he go up and park? Let's see. Staying home, staying home, staying home. There he goes. Does Green go high? No, they almost get offset. Now Green has to go high. Has no choice. Does Carruthers go with him? Yes, he does. Trouble. Cole Fitzpatrick is around in the 19. More trouble. Eschleman's around. David Sheets is around. Do we all keep it going? I think we do. We're in turn 3 and 4. We got to keep it up front. Devin Ray's gone to the race lead. Austin Green continues to lead. The top caution flag is going to come out and hamper this one just short of what would have been the white flag. The caution flag coming out once again, and we'll go back and see it. Actually, I'm pretty sure it happened a little further back. See David Sheets. I think it happens back here somewhere. Oh, man, Bobby Forbes, or excuse me, not Bobby Forbes, Danny Barnes was big time around. He gets hit by Justin Mills. They're going to slide to the apron. Mills is, oh, man, Barnes gets hit by Mark Vondell. Bobby Forbes, Daniel DiOrio, Josh McCullough drive on through. Try to back this up. This was a pretty long exchange that started here down the backstretch. You're going to see them wreck in front of these guys. There goes Danny Barnes trying to get through it, dives to the apron, and Oh, actually, Logan York comes back up on the racetrack and clips the 7 of Danny Barnes. And that's what sends him around. So we'll go on board perhaps with Josh McCullough through this one. So he was a little ways back from the field here when this wreck started. This is on board with the 0-5 of Josh McCullough. So you see the stack-up start there. Around goes Barnes. Has to slow up for Justin Mills and makes his way on through. And so that will force a second attempt at an overtime finish. And so we will reset the field as they pace behind the pace truck and get ready to go under the green flag once again. We are in overtime. We are past the scheduled distance. Scheduled to go 27 laps. We are on lap 29 as they run on the racetrack right now. This one will go at least 32 laps with this second attempt at a green-white checkered. Devin Ray cycles forward to the lead on that restart. That little bit of chaos that happened up at the front. Nash Brambilla is second. Heath Job is third. Austin Green cycled all the way back to fourth. He's actually going to end up getting, I think, a little bit lucky when that caution came out. They were still going backwards, so he's going to be in a pretty good spot right here to still have a good look at it. Ron Morris is fifth. Harrison Whitehead is sixth. Dustin Carruthers, Ryan Based on row 4. And then John Darnell, Richard Elliott on row 5. So still a long way to go. I mean, 5.5 miles is a long way. 2.66 miles is a long way, as we were about a half a straightaway short of getting to the white flag right there and making the race official, and we would have raced it all the way out to the end. Instead, we'll go under another overtime attempt. Again, if we get to that third attempt and a caution comes out on that first lap, the race will be official at the moment of caution. Obviously, these guys hoping to get it done on the second attempt, not even have to worry about that third attempt. If the race ended now, the drivers advancing would be Nash Brambilla, Heath Job, and Austin Green. As Devin Ray has already raced his way in via a win. Or not a win, a third place finish. He would win tonight's race, but not to advance into that championship race. It would still count as a victory for the 22. He appears to be choosing the top. No surprise there. He's going to have his teammate Austin Green in line. Got to think they're going to be working well together. Harrison Whitehead will be third on the outside. Richard Elliott will be, not Richard Elliott will be fourth. It'll be Ryan Based fourth on the outside. So the outside line, very strong. Bottom line will be Brambilla, Heath Job, Ron Morris, and Dustin Carruthers. And so we get ready to go once again from Talladega. Glad you have joined me here late night, actually early morning here, Tuesday morning. But glad you are with me. Glad that you are out here to support these drivers, getting the spotlight tonight. Glad to have everybody out there with me here on the broadcast tonight. We'll be back next week again for race number 5, and then the week after that, still to be determined exactly when that championship race is going to take place. But again, next week, I will have a definite answer for you on when that championship race will be and what the format of it will be and how exactly we're going to settle who is going to be the champion of the Little Guys Series in Season 2. So be back next week for our final race of the regular season, and we'll tell you exactly how that championship race is going to work out. For now, we get ready to go once again. Try this one more time, another overtime attempt. We'll see who we can put into this championship race when it's all said and done. We'll see if we get it done here in the next 5.5 miles, or if we're going to need another attempt at an overtime finish to get the job done here on a Monday night. Devin Ray brings the field off of turn number 4. The pace truck will depart once more and leave the field in the hands of these drivers once again. Can we get it done this time? Overtime attempt number 2. Into the tri-oval comes the field. Who's going to make the right move? Who's going to make the wrong one? And who will find themselves in victory lane? And more importantly, who will find themselves in that championship race? Devin Ray into the restart zone, waiting on that flag man. Green flag is back in the air. Green-white checkered attempt number 2. They race off towards turn 1. What a jump for the McCullough boys. Ray immediately to the outside of Nash Brambilla. Clears his way to the lead. Austin Green tucked up underneath. Same with Harrison Whitehead. Top line will surge. Bottom line surges for a moment. The top line's going to have so much roll here off turn number 2. They are going to surge immediately out front. Who makes the first move further back? Looks to be like Ron Morris was going to, but not Ron Morris. Can't tell actually which truck that is. Maybe Trevor Oz without trouble. Around goes Danny Eshelman. There's more trucks around. Is he going to bring out the caution? Yes, it is. And so again, we will reset. And now, this one gets pretty interesting. You're approaching a full tank of fuel if you're one of the lead trucks here. And we are also now going to enter our final green-white checkered attempt. At this point, a caution comes out in the first lap after the green flag. The race will be official. It will be over. The moment of caution will determine who goes to victory lane here tonight from Talladega. We'll go back and look at what caused that yellow flag. It was back a little ways in the field. You can see back there Danny Eshelman is already out of shape, so we'll back it up a little bit. Actually, may have been 4 wide back here. I'm not sure why in the world they were 4 wide. Back here at the tail end of the field. I'm trying to find a better view. That's probably going to be the best one we get. Eshelman looks to be, I don't know about held up behind Logan York, but something happens there. They check up. Eshelman gets hit by his teammate Josh McCullough. Gets turned sideways off the bumper of Bobby Forbes. Todd Mays is involved in. McCullough and Forbes get together. And I think McCullough sliding sideways is actually what's going to bring out the yellow flag as he, gets all the way around and spins. I think Eshelman's actually going to hit him again. He does, right in the passenger side door. And that's what brings out our caution here. Late in the going at Talladega. Try to take one more look at it here. You see York. Not sure what's going on with the 0-1 right here. But regardless, there's going to be contact here between Diorio and Eshelman. Then there's contact, I think, between the 0-5 and the 26. 26 gets sideways. Todd Mays, they get the outside wall a ton. Bobby Forbes, Josh McCullough there get the outside wall as well. And then Eshelman gets in the side of his teammate there at the end of this wreck once again. And so here we go again. We re-rack and re-stack and give these guys one more opportunity to get this one done under the green flag. Again, a caution flag at this point would end our event tonight under yellow, which obviously I don't think is what these guys want. But regardless, it's the reality we are now faced with. That's the situation. One more caution before the white flag, and this race is done. You've got to be in the spot you want to finish right here. The aggression ramps up even more because this first lap means a whole lot as to who is going to go to victory lane, who's going to advance into the championship race. And so we will get ready to put him back under the green flag and figure that out. Here in just a moment, should get the 1 to go. Signal Devin Ray will have lane choice on this restart. I imagine he would take the inside lane in front of his teammate Austin Green. We'll see what he decides. Into the tri-oval comes Devin Ray. Appears to be staying low. No indication he's going to be taking the top, which means he will take the bottom in front of his teammate. We do get the 1 to go. We should that time by. We do. Lights are, yes, out. And Devin Ray has selected the bottom. So we now can re-rack the field for our well, it is going to be our final race start of the night. We're going to get this one done one way or the other right here. Bottom side, Devin Ray, who is locked into the final race. Austin Green, who is not locked in. Top side, Nash Brambilla for Team PGR. And Heath Job for Hyper Motorsports in the 760. Harrison Whitehead, Ron Morris, they're both locked in. Dustin Carruthers as well, but Ryan Baste is not. Richard Elliott, John Darnell, Tim White, Joey Allen. Trying to also be a factor in this finish. As we have 2 laps to go. 2 more circuits around, regardless if that's under green or under caution. One more time, I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Biggest the audience has been tonight is right now, and you picked a great time to tune into the festivities. 2 laps to go here from Talladega. Overtime attempt number 3 about to be underway. Little Guy Series race number 4. The top 3 non-advanced drivers would lock in to that final race. For perspective, the guys up front that are locked in, Devin Ray, Harrison Whitehead, Ron Morris, Dustin Carruthers, Trevor Osbornoff, Zach Range. That's all the guys in the top 15 that are locked in. Everybody else that I did not just say their name, they are eligible here to be advanced into the championship race in 2 weeks by virtue of being one of the top 3 guys to finish in that spot. Pace truck hits pit road for the final time tonight. Will we get to the white flag, or is this one going to get determined by a replay angle? Into the trial for the final time under pace speed. Devin Ray, Nash Brambilla, who is going to get the job done. Green flag for green white checkered number 3 from Talladega. Inside rolls, outside does not. Devin Ray going to have a huge run. Austin Green will as well. The question now becomes, who gets clear? Who goes to the top? Who makes the move? Who tries the 3rd lane first? Brambilla getting a nice push now from Heath Job. He draws even. Zach Range, David Sheets going to the top. They're going to try the first cars to rock around the outside. Ron Morris, Dustin Carruthers bail on the middle line. Who goes with them? John Darnell goes with them. Brambilla continuing to lead, but not for long. Ray pokes the nose out front. We are 3 by 3 in turn 3. Do we make it all the way around? Who steps out of line first? Ryan Baste has joined the middle lane. Off turn number 4. If they get around the trial, well, we're going to settle it under the green flag. Nash Brambilla, a huge surge to the outside of the racetrack. Ron Morris trying to get it wound back up, but really can't. White flag. We're going to settle it under green. Brambilla flanked to his left by Devin Ray and Austin Green. Heath Job pushing for all he's worth in that middle line. When does he step out and try to make a move? When does Ryan Baste step out and try to make a move? Those two going to need to make something happen. It's all behind Nash Brambilla. Around goes Ray. Austin Green is well and done. He's out of it. Nash Brambilla continuing to lead. He parks in the middle in front of Ryan Baste. Does Baste go to the bottom, or does he stay behind Brambilla? All the way home. Here comes Brambilla. He goes to the bottom. Interesting decision. Trouble behind the leaders. Morris, Mills, others. Huge wreck. Thomas Parker flipping. We're still going to have a race. Brambilla off turn number 4. Now Ryan Baste leads the charge back to the tri-oval. Can he get something going on the outside? It's all going to be blocking for Nash Brambilla. All the way home. Drag race to the start-finish line. Who's going to get here first? Nash Brambilla wins at Talladega. If you wanted chaos, you got chaos tonight. A couple of huge wrecks on the final lap of the race. We'll go back and look at some of them. Try to get an idea of what did happen on that white flag lap, because a lot did happen. Nash Brambilla comes away with a victory. And the 3 advancing into the final race, Nash Brambilla, Ryan Baste, And Tim White in the 239. How about the run to the end for him? As he has got a spot in the championship race. Brambilla's going to burn it down. Joey Logano style on the front stretch of this racetrack. A big win for the driver for Team PGR tonight, as he will race for a championship in the Little Guys Series and goes to victory lane for the first time in this Little Guys Series. A dual burnout by the Team PGR drivers. What a cool moment this is for these two. We'll give them a chance to celebrate, and we'll go look at a replay while our top 3 / top 4. I would like to hear from Tim White as well tonight. We'll see if we can track him down late in the going. But we'll give Brambilla a chance to continue to celebrate here. He and Darnell really burning it down here on the front stretch. Now Brambilla, man, look at this celebration. He's going to bounce off the outside wall. And he has expired the engineer on the 18. That's going to give us a chance now to start to get those guys headed this way. So if you look at it just a moment, we're going to get to those guys. And then we'll go back and take a look at a replay while we're waiting on those guys to get into the interview spot. All right, back with you. We're going to go back, try to take a look and digest what in the world happened on this final lap. So we will go back first. We saw the wreck with Devin Ray, so we're just going to watch this last wreck in turns 3 and 4 that we had to stay off of. Devin Ray got sideways, kept it going, but he and Austin Green, obviously, not much they could do. We're going to try to get an idea of what happened further back. Off into turn number 3. It's going to start further up, I think, between Justin Mills and one of these other trucks. It's actually Joey Allen. He bounces off the top line, comes down, actually gets a piece of Tim White. And they all come together. Osborne, Mills, Morris, Carruthers, Elliott all come together. Thomas Parker's going to get involved. Mark Vondell is going to get involved. They start to pile up. Oh, my goodness. What a couple of hits right there. Mills up in the air. Parker upside down. Todd Mays, Cole Fitzpatrick, Montez Diaga. Then Mondell wrecks further up. David Sheets, John Darnell, dirt tracking through the grass. DiOrio hard into the outside wall. Holy cow. So a big few hits there. And that's what happened coming to the checkered flag. And obviously coming to the checkered flag, we'll get a quick look at that. Maybe. Maybe not. We're going to try. So he came down to the checkered flag, and then it was a drag race. Ryan Baste actually made this a lot closer than I thought he was going to. And there is your finish right there. As Nash Brambilla gets the job done from the Talladega Super Speedway, and that leads us into our post-race festivities here from Talladega. We've got your top 3 lined up. We'll wait on Tim White after we get to your top 3, see if we can get a word from the driver of the 239 as well. But for now, we will get started with your third-place driver tonight, the 73 of Ryan Baste. And we'll see what he's got to say about tonight's race. Hey, Ryan, it's Dawson in the booth. You get a copy?
Hey, Dawson. Yep, I got you.
Well, you come home third tonight in a race that, man, it was every bit as chaotic as I'm sure we all expected. But you come home third. You're now locked into that final race. I can't remember if you were or not, but I don't think you were. But hey, nonetheless, now you definitely are with a third place finish tonight. Just kind of take me through that last run of the finish and how you're feeling about that effort out of you and your teammates there tonight.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I was not locked into season 2 yet, so it feels good to be, I wanted to make it. That was the goal of the night, just getting the top 3 and making it to that final race. I definitely got some help on the last restart there. A lot of the cars started to go high. I snuck into the middle. There was some chaos all around. Somehow, Brambilla was just in front of me. I saw that I was making a run for the end there, and luckily I got some help by Joey Allen. He could have easily went around me and probably taken third himself, but he gave me a push, and I appreciate that, so I definitely owe him one along the way.
Well, absolutely, and what a chaotic race it was, but nonetheless, you find yourself in the race at the end, and now you're racing for a championship. So as a driver, coming into this season, you said it yourself, you weren't quite locked in yet. So, first of all, how much pressure did you feel going into tonight? And now, how much of a weight off your shoulders is it to be locked into that final 3 leaving here tonight?
Oh, absolutely. I feel good to be locked in. It's been a little bit of different season than season 1. I mean, I was locked in season 1, the first race, and the rest were just kind of fun runs for me, waiting for that championship race. We're in week 4 here now for season 2, and every week I was getting a little bit more nervous. So I'm happy that I was able to lock in tonight, and I can kind of have a nice relaxing run next week before the championship.
Well, absolutely, and certainly a third place effort good enough to get it done for you here tonight. So while I have you for a second, anybody you want to thank or shout out after that third place effort here tonight?
Yeah, I want to shout out the boys at KSR. I really appreciate them, having me join over the last month or so, and we've been running pretty well together. So I just appreciate, everything that they've done since 07 kind of went topside. So, and then thank you for doing what you do. I always watch the broadcast back. Had a lot of fun. So thanks for putting them on.
Well, absolutely. And you come home third tonight. Congratulations on that. You'll be racing for a championship in 2 weeks. We will see you next week, and we'll see you once again in 2 weeks racing for a title. Congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thanks, Dawson.
Ryan Based in the 73. We're going to go backwards a little bit, take a little bit of a step back, because we do now have Tim White. So we'll get a word from him, the third driver to advance into the championship race. We're going to hear from him here next. Hey, Tim, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I copy, Dawson. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, but probably not as good as you are right about now, because you get third in the championship, guys, there at the end. So you are locked into that championship race at the end of the season. First off, take me through the run to the finish and how you're feeling after the effort tonight to get into that final race.
I figured if I saw that bottom line starting to really run down there, and I figured I'd get behind Whitehead. Him and I push pretty, we run together pretty well. So I thought I'd give him a shove and try to get up there. Running up there with those guys is it's a pleasure, man, to be able to run with those guys. These guys have been doing this a long time. I've only been doing this a few months, and to run up front like that and get into the championship feels great.
Well, absolutely. And kind of, take me through what you've been able to glean from these guys, what you've been able to learn from racing around these guys. I know I've heard so many guys talk to me over the past 2 seasons just about being able to run with a group like this and run on a stage like this, and how much it teaches them, how much they're able to grow as drivers. So kind of take me through that from your perspective.
Well, I just watch how these guys, run together, how they draft, how they pick lanes, how they control lanes, how they control their temps, all that stuff. And I watch and I pay attention to how they're doing things, and I try to learn as much as I can. And I think in the last couple of months here, I've learned a lot of stuff from, the likes of John Ward and Ken McCullough, guys like that are always running up front. They've taught me a lot of things just running with them. And I think it's helped me, and tonight's proof of that.
Well, absolutely. Well, now you're racing for a championship. You're in that final race. You're going to have a crack at those bigger championship pots at the end of the season here. So what can we expect going forward? What's the mindset going to be as we get closer to that championship race?
Hey, well, you know what they say. If you ain't first, you're last. I mean, I'm going to go into these races looking to win. I want to get up there and, I want to make a name for myself and, show these guys that I can run with them. So, I'm going to race the way I race. I'm going to race as hard as I possibly can and try to get try to at least get a podium there.
Well, you finish in the 4th position tonight, but in the 3rd position of the non-championship guys, so that's enough to lock you in. So while I have you for a second, anybody you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah. So I just want to thank all the guys for teaching me everything that they've taught me here on these tracks and these races. I want to give a shout out to James Alexander, a friend of mine down here, big fan. He's always watching these broadcasts. And my daughter back in Minnesota, she's always up there watching. I send her the links all the time. So Jordan, Dan, how you doing? Great finish tonight.
Well, absolutely. It's certainly a great effort out of you tonight. Coming home 4th, but advancing to the championship nonetheless after tonight's race. Congratulations. Go enjoy it. We will see you next week.
Hey, thanks, Dawson.
That was Tim White in the 2:39. We'll move now to our 2nd place finisher. Going a little bit out of order, but hey, a little out of order never killed anybody. And that is the driver that won last week's race and almost spoiled the party here a second time, Harrison Whitehead of the Wolfpack. We'll see what he's got to say about his efforts here tonight. Hey, Harrison, it's Dawson up in the booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir. Copy.
Well, man, we saw you win last week. We've seen you run up front a number of times across different series the past few weeks now, and it just seems like every time we see you, you're in the right spot at the right time, getting better every time you're on the racetrack. Just kind of take me through your run to the end here, how you got to 2nd place, and how you're feeling about that effort.
Yeah, starting 5th there on the restart, I had the inside line, and I knew the outside line was going to get running because it's been running all night, and I was just trying to help out Devin up there and give him a nice little push from behind, but unfortunately he got spun, and the next thing I knew, the race just kind of fell into my lap right there. And, definitely had to repay Nash for that push last week and give him, couldn't leave him hanging in turn 4 like that. So nice to be able to repay the good deed he did last week.
Well, absolutely, and you come home 2nd tonight. Obviously, you were already advanced by virtue of that win last week that we saw you get on Monday night, so not as much to go for here tonight. You still get a nice little payout there from the 2nd place finish, but what is the mindset after the win last week? What's the mindset been for you as a driver, already knowing you're going to race for a championship, but you still want to get some momentum? So what's the mindset been for you going into tonight and then going into next week as well?
Every race, I'm really competitive, so every race I race in, I try to win. And, obviously if I can help my teammates along the way, I'm definitely going to do that as well. So it's just been, pedal to the metal and just keep the good momentum going. I've had really good luck these last couple of weeks, and hopefully it'll continue.
Well, absolutely, and we'll see if it does keep on going for you over the next couple of weeks. But while we have you for a second, after that 2nd place run, anybody you want to thank or shout out?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to shout out Wolfpack, woo! There we go, boys. And, everybody in Wolfpack.
All right, well, congrats on that 2nd place effort. Congrats on another great run here on a Monday night, and we will see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Harrison Whitehead in the 77, your 2nd place finisher tonight. That leads you to the man of the hour, the man who got the victory tonight and got the job done well enough to get himself into the championship race. And that is the 18 of Nash Brambilla of Team PGR. And we'll see what he's got to say about his victory here tonight. Hey, Nash, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got you, buddy.
Well, what a chaotic race that was, certainly for just about everybody there on that last run. But at the end of the race, you got the nose out front. You come across the start-finish line first, and you get the job done. Not only do you go to victory lane, you're also racing for a championship now in 2 weeks. First of all, take me through your race, but also how you're feeling after that big victory.
Yeah, it feels good to get a victory. I mean, you can never get a victory and not enjoy it. And, to start out front, missed some of the big wrecks, kind of just stayed in that bottom lane about 5th most of the race, and then finally got up on that outside lane, and Keith was giving me a great push there and really got me ahead of the field.
Well, absolutely, and you end up coming home with that win, and obviously Mike not here to see this one, but I'm sure wherever he's watching, he is celebrating right now for you guys. So just kind of take me through where your mindset goes from here. I mean, you're going to be racing for a championship. That's going to be a big race for you. We finally see you get that breakthrough that you've been waiting for here on Monday night. So just kind of take me through, where your mindset as a driver goes now that you've got that win, you got the pressure off, and you can really start to focus on that championship race in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it would have definitely been good to have Mike up in the booth. Team owner of PGR is always a great broadcaster and a great teammate. But actually, I'm getting surgery on the 15th, so it's going to be an interesting championship race. I'm having ACL surgery on my knee, so I should be able to still race. I might not be able to save fuel, but I don't think you need to save fuel in these races, so I'll be all good to go. So just kind of recovering, getting ready for that big race.
Well, absolutely, and we will get to see you try to make that championship work here in 2 weeks' time. For now, you are in victory lane here tonight, a winner in the Little Guys Series here in race number 4. So I'll have you for a second. Any thank you shout-outs you want to give?
Definitely got to thank my PGR teammate, John Darnell. He was up there, but we just couldn't get him up to the top 5-ish. Huge thank you to Heath Job. We've been teammates before. He pushed me amazing those last 2 restarts. He just got caught up in people pushing behind him, and he got wrecked. And then obviously Harrison Whitehead. I mean, I pushed him to win last week, and he pushed me to win this week. So that was just good karma out there, and glad to see he got second with pushing me. That's always good to see when someone pushes you when they get second. And then obviously thank you, Hickory Racing Network, and Dawson. You do a great job broadcasting. Love listening to you.
Well, I appreciate that, and you're in victory lane tonight. You get the job done. You're racing for a championship in 2 weeks here in the Little Guys Series. Congratulations. Go enjoy it with your teammate, and we will see you next week.
Yep, thanks. Have a good night.
Ash Brambilla in the 18, getting the job done here tonight on a Monday night in the Little Guys Series, the final man we will talk to here in this race. So we will take you through your finishing results now for the rest of the field in this event. Ash Brambilla wins the race. Harrison Whitehead second. Ryan Bass third. And the final guy advancing into that championship race, Tim White, in the 4th position. Joey Allen finishes in 5th. Heath Job 6th. Zach Range 7th. Logan York 8th. John Darnell in 9th. And Cole Fitzpatrick rounds out the top 10. David Sheets finishes 11th. Bobby Forbes in 12th. Devin Ray 13th. Danny Eschleman 14th. And Todd Mays in 15th. Dustin Crothers finishes 16th. Richard Elliott 17th. Austin Green 18th. Trevor Osborne 19th. And Ron Morris rounds out the top 20. Justin Mills finishes 21st. Thomas Parker 22nd. Alejandro Montes de Yaca finishes 23rd. Mark Mondell in 24th. Daniel DiOrio in 25th. Josh McCullough 26th. Danny Barnes 27th. And Michael Menchaca rounds out the 28-car field here tonight. What a race it was here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway. I'm glad to have everybody come out tonight. I know it's late. It's really late, actually really early if you want to think about it that way on a Tuesday morning, but I certainly hope that everybody did enjoy the race. It was a great race to watch, a great race to call. And, oh, wow, excuse me. What a win it is for Nash Brambilla of Team PGR here in Week 4 of the Little Guys Series. We'll be back next Monday night, same time, a little bit after 11 o'clock. About 11:15 is a pretty good time to bank on. Be right back here on the Hickory Racing Network. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Notification bell will let you know when I'm going live around 11:15 next week and get you right back here for more racing. Hopefully Michael Triscaro will be back with me in the booth next Monday night to cover the action. I'm sure he is celebrating heartily here for his driver, Nash Brambilla of Team PGR, making his way into the final race of the season in a couple of weeks. Join me and Austin Green tomorrow for Ron Morris Racing, Tuesday Night Thunder on the Ghost Racing Network. And then Austin and Baker will have the call of PGR on Thursday night. And then obviously we will be back here on Monday night, right back here on the Hickory Racing Network. Until then, everybody have a great night, have a great week, and I hope to see you right back